so let me know some of Bookish or So here are 25 bookish facts about me. I prefer paperbacks. I just prefer, they're just so much easier to read, and I just prefer paperbacks. I'm a spine breaker and proud. I don't have a genre preference. I don't have one genre that I read more of than others. Or if there is, it's not done consciously. It's not something I don't actively go looking for a certain type of book. I just go look, see what I just read what I fancy reading at the time. I have never read a book by John Green, ever. I stack my books backwards or the wrong way. So, I currently have them stacked like this, so one's at the top and then going down, and if I have them sat on the shelf the other way, up, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. I stack them this way because I like to have the front cover showing for the first book. I am very bad at remembering names. Unless the names are repeated like constantly, I'm just so bad at remembering them. But I am pretty good at remembering plots, like main points, so I don't, if a new book's come out in a series and it's been a while since I've read the previous, I usually don't need to reread them, because as I'm reading the new book, if there's things I've forgotten, it sort of jogs my memory and I remember, so I don't really need to reread books. I'm new to DNFing. DNFing is not something I've ever done on purpose in the past. I've put books down and forgot to pick them back up again, but I have only ever actively DNF'd one book, and that is The Scotch Trials by James Dashner. So yes, I'm pretty new to DNFing, but I quite like it. I quite like it because it means I'm not wasting my time on books that are really just getting me down. I get awful headaches when I read while I'm travelling, but I do it anyway. I do it anyway. Usually on the bus to work, in hopes that by the time I get to work I feel so bad that they have to send me home, but sadly that's never happened. I have zero plans to write a novel. I know a lot of people here on BookTube are like aspiring authors and they take part in NaNoWriMo and stuff like that, but I have zero interest in writing my own novel. I write fan fiction occasionally, but that's about as far as I go with writing. I have sort of a love-hate relationship with romance when it comes to fiction. If I'm expecting romance from it, then that is absolutely fine, you know, if that's what I want from it. So if I read like a Cassandra Clare book, I know there's going to be romance in it and I'm expecting it and I am wanting it, and I would be disappointed if it wasn't in there. But I also hate romance when I feel like it doesn't need to be a big plot point in books. That was one of the things I didn't like about the Maze Runner trilogy, was he sort of introduced this romance that I just felt I didn't want it there. I didn't want it there. So I think it depends on my mood. It depends on what mood I'm in, whether I am ready to accept the romance in this fiction or not. So I'm a bit funny when it comes to romance in fiction, unless I'm picking up a romance book, so like, you know, like a contemporary, like if I pick up a Sophie Kinsella book, I'm picking that up because romance. But if that's not why I picked a book up and then that turns out to be like the main plot point, then I just like, no, I hate it. I hate it. What's wrong with just being friends, guys? Friendship is a thing, you know. Friendship is a thing as well. I'm easy to please. I'm an easy to please reader. I don't expect a lot from a book, and that goes on to my next point. I'm very good at keeping low expectations, so I've not been disappointed many times. There's not many books that I've been disappointed in. The books that I've been disappointed in, it's because I've let my expectations get too high because of things that people have said, and then it's just not turned out that way. But most of the time, I'm easy to please and I'm pretty good at keeping low expectations. My opinion's pretty easily changed when it comes to books. I can read a book and really thoroughly enjoy it, and then someone can point out like, well, this was wrong with it and this was wrong with it, and then what about when this happened, and then I sit and I think about it and I think, oh right, and then I don't like that book as much as I did. I don't know what that says about me, but it's pretty easy to change. I'm a pretty fluid person. I'm not good at translating my feelings into Goodreads stars. Some people are very precise about their star ratings, like they've given this a 4.75 because such and such, and I'm just like, well, I don't know, this book can have a 5 stars because I really liked it. Give this one a 3 stars because maybe it was okay. I mean, I liked it, but you know, there's better. And then 4 stars, 4 stars. 4 stars is like my most common. Because like, well, I liked it, but it wasn't perfect. So 4 stars for everything. But I don't get it. It's really hard. I have to sit and think for a while before I put the star rating up. Reading slumps. Also, reading slumps are not a thing for me. When I first started BookTube, I was like, oh my god, what is this reading slump thing? And every time I wasn't reading, I felt like that was a reading slump. But then as the months have gone by, you sort of realise, actually, just because I'm not reading it doesn't mean I'm in a reading slump. I just don't feel like reading right now, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. There are other things that I'm doing, and that's fine. So I have, touch wood, never had what I would call an actual reading slump. I'm not intimidated by big books. In fact, I quite like big books. I like big books, and I cannot lie. I do. I mean, there's not that many on my shelf, but I'm just not intimidated by them. When people are like, oh my god, it's got so many pages, and well, it's got a lot of pages. I'm not afraid of commitment, I think, is what that means. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the commitment that you have to put in to all those pages. I have read one book in a foreign language. Yep, it was in French, and we read it as a class for my A-levels, and it was La Gloire de mon... It sounds so funny on my tongue. La Gloire de mon père by Marcel. Forget his name, I'll put it on the screen. And it was yeah, so I've completed one book in a foreign language, which I'm very proud of. I hope it doesn't end up being the only one, because I am currently translating a couple of manga I have in Japanese. So hopefully, La Gloire de mon père won't be the only foreign book I've read in a foreign language. We'll see how that goes. Depending on the smell of the book, depends on what mood it puts me in, which sounds really weird. So like, my Harry Potters, they smell old now. They smell really old, and like libraries, so same with my Pride and Prejudice, because I'm pretty sure my Pride and Prejudice has that smell now. I've just had that. Yeah. So I get it gets me all excited and nostalgic when I smell books like this, even if I've never read them before. And then there's also what I call the clever book smell, which is the plastic pages. Have I got one? And my knitting book's not exactly clever, but I think it smells like it. That's how I like my non-fiction to smell, like that. So then I feel like I'm reading non-fiction, and I feel like I'm sort of improving myself if the book smells that way. That's the sort of feeling I have when I'm reading it, even if maybe the book's nothing like that. Like my knitting book smells like that. My knitting book smells like what I call a clever book, and I don't know if that's really improving my mind, but you know, that's the sort of so depending on how the book smells, depending on how it makes me feel. I'm weirdly attracted to villains. Only in fiction, like only in books and stuff. I don't even know what it is, because if I met that person in real life, I would be like, you're an absolute dick and I want to throw a chair at your face. But for some reason, when I read about them, I am weirdly attracted to them. I don't even know why. I don't even understand. I'm messed up, I don't know. But it's only in fiction. I judge books by covers. I mean, it's hard not to. It's what they're there for. My brain and the descriptions I read don't always compute in my head. Descriptions don't really mean much to me. I sort of imagine how someone looks based on their personality and other things. And I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but when I was little, it really didn't matter at all. For example, when I read The Hobbit, and we got to the bit where Gollum was introduced, for the longest time, I thought Gollum was a fish. I've reread it since, and I don't even know where I got it from. My brain just heard that there was water, and that was it. It just thought, fish. So things don't always, my brain doesn't always take in proper descriptions. I hate Emma by Jane Austen. I hate it. I have loved I've only got Sense and Sensibility left, but so far I have loved every Jane Austen novel but Emma, and I really, really don't want to hate it. I plan to try. I've tried rereading it since I've left school, and I think it was early last year I tried to reread it and it was a no-go. I do plan to try again in the future. I'm going to keep persevering because I want to like it. I don't want to hate it. It's the only book. It means that if I ever decide to buy like a box set of Jane Austen's books, Emma's going to be in there and it's never going to get read because I don't like it and it's going to bug me. I want to like it so much. Finally, I don't like happy endings. Or should I say, I don't like happy endings for the sake of happy endings. I don't like it when things are wrapped up just a little bit too nicely because you kind of want to please everybody. Like at the end of City of Heavenly Fire, spoilers for anyone that hasn't read it and is going to, I'm going to be spoiling it right now. Simon loses his memories. He trades his memories and his immortality in place of Magnus, and while that was really sad, it was something that happened. It was something that you just sort of had to deal with, but then she couldn't like sort it out later, like maybe in a different, I don't know, somewhere else, but she had to like wrap it all up at the end where they do some spell to get him his memories, to start, you know, bringing his memories back, and I don't know, it just felt a little too happy, like a happy ending for the sake of a happy ending, and I hate it. I do, honestly. And that goes for anything. I don't want it to wrap it up just because it doesn't want to make me feel bad. I'm okay with feeling bad. It's okay to make me cry most of the time. I can deal with that. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. Just don't treat me like I'm 5, please. And that is it. That is it. So there are 25, I think there should be 25, I listed them down. I think I remember to say them all. That's 25 bookish facts about me. So let me know some bookish facts about you guys in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. But that is it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye!